Hey guys, how's it going? Here we are tonight, another Tuesday night. Please tell me once again if you can hear me. It seems like every single week I have to redo my sound setup for some reason. So, if you guys can hear me, please let me know. That would be grand. Okay, mute that. I'm clear. Hey, what's up, Tomas? How's it going, man? Dude, your stream last night was fantastic, by the way. Thank you very much. I learned a ton. I love how loose you are with all your stuff. So, anyway, welcome to the stream. Glad you can hear me. Yeah, I saw Tomas, I saw your render in Keyshot. You should reach out to me. I can help you out if you want some tips. So 6 hours. Oh man. I guess I am an hour early, aren't I? Well, shoot. Oh well, we're going an extra hour today. How's that? We're gonna go an extra hour. Boom. I lose track of time just like you. All right, because I keep getting confused. I'm an idiot. I live in Utah where it's mountain time and it's listed on the site as Pacific time. You know, I get anxious every single time. I don't know why. I like doing this and I'm comfortable with it. But I just get all butterflies and whatever. What's going on, Harry? How's it going? Okay, let's go an extra hour. What do you say? Let's do it. Early. Because I'm ready. Might as well. What's up, guys? All right. So today, I want to continue with what's going on here. Hold on a second. My wife's going, why are you starting early? All right. What's up, Kyle? Sorry, man. I guess I'm going 3 hours a night. All right. That'll make up for last week. I missed last week. So, it was my wife's birthday, and I had to take her out. So, yay, CG Rifters, what's up? Blands. Everybody's here. Okay, let's get going. So, I'm going to work on this vest, whatever this vest is underneath here. What's up, Z Squared? Yay! Well, geez. Maybe I should start it this time every week, huh? Get to interact with more people. Okay. So, we're making this cowboy. This cowboy is a concept done by Johannes Helgeson, and he's originally from Sweden, and I believe he's in Canada right now. And he's a phenomenal concept artist. And I love his stuff, and his sense of volume is amazing. So I've already modeled one of his. It's the pirate girl that you've been seeing. So, oh, cool. Okay, let's get going here. I'm going to duplicate this. Let's see if my wife's still making fun of me for starting early. Nope. Okay. Funny. All right. Topological brush. Here we go. That's a pretty low slung neck here, but. Hey, Kyle, I did. Thanks. Check this out. Boom. Huge. Yeah, I have a stream deck too. I'm starting to get pretty serious. What's up, Chris? Yeah, getting serious about my streaming. Plus, I want to up the production quality of my course lessons too. So crazy, right? What is it? Oh, a stream deck. So a stream deck is just basically I don't know if you can see this. I can't show it without unplugging it. Can I show you that? You see this? It's just like a bank of buttons, but all these buttons I can customize to whatever I want. And it's so I've customized one to this full screen cam, and one to this cam, and then I'll get I have a webcam right here that once I get this set up, it's like an overhead cam, so you can actually see my hand over the screen. I'm just kind of trying to do funny stuff, I guess. up the production value, quality, whatever you want to call it. So that's what I'm doing. That's probably too low. What's the camera? Don't worry about it. No, you were great. You looked great last night. I got a Lumix. I think it's a 60D or something like that. It's just it's an SLR camera, and then the same company that makes the Stream Deck makes a capture card, and I just plug my camera right into that capture card. And there are some cameras that have USB out, and you can just plug your USB right into your computer. So yeah, I've been messing with this cam, but it's not quite up to working yet. Tomas, I told you, you're fine, man. I don't know, why does this body have a hole in it? Let's check it out. Come on. I think I'm in there we go. Is part of it hidden? I must have deleted that when I was separating the head. Here we go. Okay. It doesn't matter, it's going to be covered, but I wanted something to draw on back here. I guess I'll just draw up on this collar instead. It's like, there's a hole. Can't draw on the hole. Oh well. Okay. All fronts? Gosh. So how did you like the key shot thing? A man's bed. That's right. It's a dickie. I can say that without getting in trouble, right, Kyle? Because that's what it is. Let's see. That's a little iffy, but as long as I don't... Let's see, I'm going to get rid of that. Start here and go this way. Yep. Okay, that's going to be tricky, but oh well. How do you make a Z... Tiago, let's see. How do you make a Z-remesh of the head? You use guidelines? I don't. I just... Most of the time I just use the default Z-remesher settings. But I've been talking to my buddy Matt Thorup, you guys all know and love. I saw him at CTN. I was there at CTN not too long ago, and oh, looks like I can draw on this. Okay, sorry, squirrel moment. I'm gonna delete these lines and do it again because I can draw on here. It's just this, the distance right here is kind of weird. Maybe not. Okay. So he was saying that if you can keep groups. He did a little demo at CTN on ZBrush, and he showed me how to, because I've tried keep groups before under Z-remesher, which is right here. So you keep groups. When you turn keep groups on, it turns smooth groups. It lights this up so you can mess with it. And the little secret that Matt told me is you can turn it down to like a 3, between 3 and 5, or 0.3 and 0.5, and it will keep that, it'll keep the polygroups better. So your Z-remesh will follow those groups a little better. So thanks to Matt. So Matt Thorpe streams on here once in a while. He did a while ago, and I think he's going to in the future. He's just not, he's a little busy right now. But he streams on here as well. The topology tool you're using, you can use that in ZBrush Core. I do not believe so. I don't think that that is a tool. Kyle, correct me if I'm wrong, please. Let's see. So with this vest, I'm just going to, see, it goes up to right here and then it gets covered. Yeah, we'll get him back someday. Come back. So this vest goes up to about here and then it gets hidden. So I'm going to do the same thing with the dicky here, and I'm only going to build it partially right here. Oh, going to do character surface detailing tomorrow? Oh, nice. Can't wait to apply all the stuff I've already learned from your workshop. Thank you very much. Glad you're enjoying it. So if you guys don't know what he's talking about, I have, he said Dicky. I'm gonna say it again, Dicky. If you guys don't know what he's talking about, I teach an online course called 3D Character Workshop. That's this logo right above me here. And you can go to 3dcharacterworkshop.com. I give away, Tomas, you were talking about teaching with your user interface and your brushes. Yes, I teach with this user interface right here and these brushes and my ruler file. So I have a ruler right here that I give away for free along with these brushes and user interface. So you can go to my website and just sign up and get them for free. And this ruler helps you go back and forth between ZBrush and Maya. It helps you go back and forth between ZBrush and 3D printing. If you want to do some 3D printing, I use this all the time. And there's some instructions on my website to tell you how to use that stuff. So anyway, feel free to grab that if you'd like. And you will be put on my newsletter and you will be notified when my course opens up again. Right now, the enrollment is closed. And I open it up occasionally. Why didn't it do that? Okay. Any tips on what to sculpt for a beginner, or should I just jump in the deep end and try characters? Yes, you should. So I teach jumping in feet first and trying characters, but I suggest starting with simple characters and maybe even just a head to start out with. Just do a bunch of heads, and before that do a bunch of blockouts. So if you go to my oh, thanks. If you go to my website, 3D Character Workshop, you go to Student Gallery. You can look at the Student Gallery. Inside that gallery is a character blockout gallery, and you can see all of the blockouts that the students have done. And essentially, and that's what I did with this guy, is you can just, can you see that preview right there? You can just block him out with primitive shapes first, and then you merge them all together like this, and then you just keep going from there. And that's the method I teach. So you can try that first. And I keep talking to T.S. Whittlebach here, which is Tomas. He is another streamer, and he streamed yesterday. It was fantastic. So Tomas makes amazing jewelry with ZBrush. You're one of the only ones that I know that does that stuff, and it's so fascinating. So check out his stuff. Oh, sweet. Thanks for joining. Hope you like it. So this is always an interesting puzzle when I have, see, I'm doing this collar right here, this arced collar, and then I want to just, it doesn't really matter that much because I'm probably going to destroy it later. But I do want to get some kind of decent topology over this. And I try to avoid poles when I can. This is a pole. A pole is 5 points or more, or 5 lines coming off of 1 point or more. And but sometimes, especially with organic stuff, you just have to deal with the poles. So I'm going to maybe run one more like this, and then just go down. That works. Oh, thanks, Kyle. Let's see. Kyle, maybe you can tell me this, because I don't know of a way. Other than, my course is not ZBrush core friendly, I apologize. Because my workflow uses ZRemesher a ton, and ZRemesher is not included in ZBrush core, unfortunately. So, but ZBrush core is great to play around with, to get used to sculpting, but it's more for like very loose, almost traditional type sculpting with Dynamesh, and you can add primitives and add parts and things like that. But the workflow is quite different than the way I do it, so that's why I'm unable to teach it that way using core. Okay, Kyle, is there a way to move a point once I've laid it down like this? See, I would love to use like a move brush or something and just grab that point and move it over a little bit. See how it's kind of off? The only way I know how is to delete these lines and then redraw it, which isn't the worst, but I wish I could just go, you know? Is that, do you know if that's a possibility? Somehow, some way that I don't know of? Okay. So now that we have that, I'm just going to, you've already seen me, if you've watched my past streams, you've seen me just do this over and over and over again. And with this one, I only want a single-sided surface. So I turn my draw size down to 1 and tap on the surface. And sometimes it doesn't always work, so you have to do it a couple times. Let's see. If you decided to make a head sculpt or hands and feet later on down the road, I want to make the body for that head sculpt. How would you add the final head sculpt to the body? And would you add it in the blockout phase? I do add everything in the blockout phase that I can, possibly. But that doesn't mean you can't add hands and heads and everything in later. But that question is really big. Like, it goes very deep. The techniques, there are a lot of techniques that you can use to append and, you know, combine. So essentially, if say, so with Disney Infinity, I worked on Disney Infinity. We started to build a library of parts like hands and feet and, you know, different parts like that. Even some costume parts like different boots and dresses for the different characters. And whenever we wanted to, what we call is kit bash them together, so taking parts from different models, what we would do is we would load that model in here. It's called a tool, and it would show up in this tool area over here. So then I would have 2 of them loaded. What you do is you make the subtool that you want to merge into your new model. You would make that subtool highlighted in the other model, and then you'd go back to your original tool that you want to bring the hand into, and then you would say either insert or append under your subtool menu. And the only difference between insert and append is append will drop that to the very bottom of your subtool list, and insert will insert it at the next subtool from the one that you currently have selected. You can't move the points. You're doing it correctly by redrawing them. Okay, so I'm not crazy. Okay, well, let's consider that a request. I want to be able to move those points, but it's not that big a deal. It really is not. Okay, so now that I have this drawn, I'm going to solo it, and it's being dynamically smoothed. That's why it looks like this. So I'm going to, I don't want this collar, I don't want the dicky. Get the dicky out of here. So I'm going to hide it. And then I'm going to delete it. And now we just have this chess piece, and I'm going to uncrease everything. There it is, uncrease all. So you'll also notice this menu right here. This is my menu that I set up to include all of the things that I use the most, because this tool menu honestly can get huge, and I hate just like menu diving down in here to just reach like the one thing that I use all the time. So instead, you can customize this user interface just super easily. It's really easy to do. And you can easily make menus like this one, a custom menu, and you can see it right here. It puts it up here. And it alphabetizes your menu based on what you named it. Since it's a 3, it's clear over here. And then you can hold down Control and Alt and tap on that menu and assign it to a hotkey, and I assign it to the number 2. And then I can pop it up anywhere. So let's see. Can you use the exact... Oh, sorry, Night Shadow. I hope I answered your question somewhat. Can you use the same exact method to create feature film characters to be animated, or is it slightly different than when you teach, because I want to work in feature film animation? It is very, very similar. Very similar. So the differences are more in the final product than in the process. So you could absolutely build characters for film this way, but in the end, the topology will be a little more dense, and you will have like hair solutions rather than, say, either big bulky stylized hair or hair cards. That's typically used, and you will most likely be using displacement maps rather than normal maps. So normal maps are used in games, and displacement maps are used in film. And also in games, the game characters tend to be chunkier, like the stylized characters tend to be chunkier, and their textures tend to be a little simplified as far as stylized characters go. And in film, like the clothing will actually be the thickness of real life cloth, and the textures on the surface will be closer to real textures. So there's like an image I saw of Incredibles 2 lately of Mr. Incredible holding his hand out like this, and there's a close-up on like the fuzz on his shirt, you know. So it's a completely stylized character, but the textures on the surfaces are way more realistic because it's just more dynamic in film. And with game characters, you don't need all that stuff, so it kind of goes away. So hope that answers your question. But as far as like the beginning and all of the structural details and proportions and design work, that's all pretty much done the same. So let's see. Hey, Wild Kitty, welcome. Right. Yes. Mostradom Nerd. That's the best name ever. Yes. So, and a lot of people have transferred from film to games and games to film. Like my buddy Danny Williams, he's worked at DreamWorks and now he works in games. My friend Chris Wright, he's worked in games with me. Now he works at Sony and he works at Leica. So, you know, you can go back and forth. It's like a prediction nerd, right? Oh, that's funny. I cannot wait for Incredibles 2. What's the advantage of the topology brush over a mask extraction? Control. Like, that's the key word, control. So if I was to mask this out and pop it off like you're talking about, the edges would be a complete mess and I would have to Z-remesh it. I use mask extraction when I'm doing tighter details. So I might use it on this detail on the shoulder right here. I'm not sure. I still may use this method, and sometimes I prefer using this this topology brush method just because of sheer control and cleanliness. So there you go. It's not as cool as you thought. For real skinny, let's see. Mostradom nerd. It's like Nostradamus, right? But you're saying it's most random nerd. You should change it to Nostradom nerd. Anyway, I like them either way. It's awesome. All right. For really skinny or big characters, would you always keep the hips square or make them a little more round? It absolutely depends on the character design. And like the weight of the character. Just like me, I'm a little more round, right? Versus the design of this guy. But males tend to be more square as far as like the stylized stuff goes. You know what I mean? So, and females more round. You've heard that over and over again. But then there's also weight that it gets involved. And if the character is heavy or not, if they're musculature or not, you know, or stronger or not, whatever. Nerdstradamus. Now we're getting all sorts of names. They're going to be taken now. They're going to be taken. Okay. You've been using it for 10 minutes, Spectre Dave. Awesome. Got a converter. Convert. Okay. I'm yapping. I'm not doing. Here we go. So what I like to do is I like to, and I keep teaching this over and over again, is I like to make my fabric or armor or whatever it is single-sided, because you can edit it way easier when it's single-sided like this. If I had to deal with two sides, like if I did a mask extraction, it tends to automatically give you two sides, and then you have two sides to work with, and it's much more difficult to work. So now I can come in here and just start pushing it out, and you can see that it's not the same. I got to rework this collar and then get that overlap happening better. This collar is much wider than I have it, so I'm going to select this guy. I'm going to turn topological off. Just kind of widen it out. Yeah, I might have it on. Let's see. Because I want to affect the collar and not really the shirt underneath. So that's another thing that's in my user interface is this topological button. And what that does, you might have used topological move before, or move topological is what it's called. And you'll notice that it's not on my user interface, because this is essentially topological masking, and all that does is it makes it so your brush does not affect its neighbor. And you can make, so people use the topological move all the time, but not a lot of people know that topological can be turned on for any brush, including smooth. So I would rather have this button out here and just turn it on for any of the brushes that I need not to affect their neighbor. And you can also set it up so this range right here, this range is the fall off. It's essentially like a light fall off, you know, with a spotlight, and you have that fall off. This is how far that topological masking will fall off. Okay, so if you can move the upper lip and not affect the lower lip, even though it's the same geometry, the same mesh. And you just do that by turning the range down. It's default set to 5, but if you turn it down, it's pretty good. When you retopo, do you keep the clothes and props separate from the character and retopo them separately or together? So I keep all of my high-res objects separate as long as possible. I only merge them if I need to or if it makes sense. And then at the very end, when I go to make my game character, I will stitch all of those parts in. I'll just draw right over top of everything. So the shirt will be connected to the vest, which will be connected to the duster, and it'll just keep going down unless that piece needs to be animated. So for example, these 3 teeth right here, if they were to swing and move when he runs, those would be separate objects in the game model, if that makes sense. So I would not include those in the main base mesh, but I would include everything else. So hope that answers your question. Okay, let's go back to this vest and start pulling it out some more. So, how do you move the corners? Like when you move that collar, the points are kind of pinned in place. It's just a matter of brush size. So if I make my brush size smaller, and if I turn topological on. So here, I'll show you 1 second. So Casual Kev, that's a That's an interesting question. It's a good one. But what I do is I usually UV per object. And I will typically put all of the... It depends on the game. It depends on the engine. And it depends on how many shared textures there are. So if there's a bunch of eyes, I will usually put the eyes on a map. I usually put the head on its own map. And then I will put the entire rest of the body on another map. And then any weapons will have their own UV map. And then any objects that can come off and come back on, and go back on, like his hat, it would get its own UVs. And typically the eyes, I will include the teeth, the tongue, and all of that stuff on the head map. Okay, so the question was, how can I move this collar? So you'll notice if I go to just try and move this collar this way, everything underneath it is moving too. See, the yellow is moving too. And if I get a bigger brush, it even moves more, right? And that's not necessarily what I want. So, and my collar is not connected up here. This is it's kind of an illusion here. So what I do is I turn on topological, set my range to about 3. Now when I move this corner, it does not affect the yellow, and it does not affect even up above here or its neighbor. So now when I go and I want to close this gap that I've made, I can close it just like that. Without it, you know, without it affecting its neighbor too much. Good old topological. So let's see, do you apply textures in ZBrush or do you import into another application? I actually do all of my coloring, all of my poly painting inside of ZBrush. But I actually do my map baking in another program outside of ZBrush. And my UVs and my retopology, my final retopology, I will do outside of ZBrush. And it just boils down to speed and control. Is the reason why. I wish I could do everything in ZBrush. But some things you just can't do yet, and I'm sure they're still working on it. Okay, so that neckline, I'm happier with that. So when am I opening the class again? Let's see. So I may open it one more time before the end of the year. I was thinking about doing a Cyber Monday thing, but I don't do discounts because it kind of cheapens the whole thing, and it also trains you guys to wait for sales, which I just feel icky about sales. So I want it to be valuable, and I want you to get your money's worth, and I want you to, when you purchase a course, I don't want to devalue what you guys have purchased by offering a discount to somebody else, you know. So if anything, the price will go up because I keep adding content a lot. I add content monthly. So more and more lessons. I do industry interviews with people, and I put those up there. I do live video feedback sessions, and I put those up there. So the course is getting larger, and so if anything, the price may go up. So anyway, if you're interested, just get on my newsletter, and you'll be notified as soon as it becomes available for enrolling again. That's the best way to do it. Tiago, since this is Pixelogic's stream, I can't really get into other people's software. But yes, one of those. You can ask me offline if you want. Okay, this is kind of caving in a little bit. See how much easier it is to manipulate these points when it's just a single-sided surface. And then it looks like it kind of overlaps because there are these 4 buttons here, maybe even 6. It looks like 6. So it looks like one is overlapping the other. And what I can do is I can go in here and I'll probably cut this right-hand side like I can, well, let's just do it. Let's just do it. Gotta wait for that Christmas bonus. Yes. I would love to have you guys in there. Yep, it's not fair for the people who signed up already. For sure. I love my students. They're so amazing. They blow me away on a daily basis. Okay. What I want to do is I want to duplicate this because one's going to be the bottom underneath and one's going to be the overlapping top. So now all I have to do is activate the symmetry. Yes. ZBrush is a whole new world. Okay, I'm going to hide one. There we go. And then if you have select lasso selected, you can hide just the loops by clicking on an edge and holding down Control and Shift. You can hide the loops like this. So here, this will be the front piece that's going to be overlapping the bottom piece. Okay, then I can just say delete hidden and then go to the one that I duplicated, this guy. And let's see, I'm going to go back here. I'm going to show it because I want to pull it out in space to give it some thickness, because I'm going to be adding some thickness to this. Morven, I'm sorry. That's sad. Okay, now I want this to overlap. It's probably just going to be the same on the other side. So let's hide these. Whoops, I got to turn off symmetry. There we go. Then delete hidden. Oh, aren't you your own boss, Tomas? Such a jerk. Hate that guy. Or do you actually work for a company? Sumerian King. Sweet. In the house. So I'm slightly confused as to how this this overlapping vest chest thing is working, because it has I'm just going to treat it like a vest that overlaps. You gotta settle down. Give that guy a beating. Tomas, do you have a website where you sell your stuff? We can see it. Maybe buy it. Because I love it. I want to. You can see I have none. I have none. Yes, I am married. I just don't wear this because it bugs. But I want to get some. Inkmetal.com. Okay, thank you. I got to check that out. Sweet Sumerian. Looking forward to it, man. That's another thing, you guys. If you guys that are interested in my course, I have a private Facebook group and I have a closed forum. So the forum is all organized and nice. I'm kind of converting or changing from Facebook group over to the forum. We're in a transitional process right now. And so far, so good. It's going pretty good. I like it a lot. Okay. So now that I have these guys... oh, give yourself some credit. Okay. I'm going to add some thickness with the ZModeler brush. I used to use the panel panel looping a lot to give myself some thickness here, but more and more I've been using the whoa. Wait, what is that? All right, I need to, more and more I've been using the ZModeler brush. It doesn't give you the bevel that that the panel brush does, or the panel, what is it called? Hold on. Edge loop, panel loops. This guy. So I typically use panel loops to give thickness, but more and more I've been using the ZModeler brush just because it's quicker. Okay, I'm going to solo this and clean up these edges. What a mess. Look at that. Who built this? That's a good attitude, Sumerian. Kick its butt. One thing I want to do too before I add thickness is this collar has some good detail going on, and I might want to add some of that, or I'll have to think about it. I'll have to think about it. You haven't looked at the forum yet? What? You know, that's it's kind of funny because I'm actually curious to see how well that forum does, because Facebook is a big part of a lot of people's lives, and it's there and it's in your face, and so people visit it often, and the forum's kind of out of your view and it's not bugging you all the time. So I'm kind of curious to see if the activity drops quite a bit or not, and that will let me know if I want to keep the Facebook group alive or not. I don't know. We're testing it out. I'm sorry if this is boring. Pushing points. Okay, so I want to thicken this up and then add. Yeah, everybody forgets to go to the forum. Let's see. I got a lot of students in here tonight. Sweet. Thanks for joining, guys. Let's insert. Maybe right here. If I let you in the forum, yes, you may heckle. It's just it's a forum, kind of like it's not a public forum. It's in the course, and it's kind of like polycount, I guess. That's what it reminds me of the most. Hey, Oddwano, how's it going? That's all you do in your forum. Do you have a forum? Nice. Okay, now push this back down. So now basically I'm laying the tracks as far as making some of this detail. You know, just kind of adding extra loops. That's why I followed the topology around the neck curve, is so I could do some stuff like that later. You're just heckling. In my forum. Oh, funny. You know what's funny too, Tomas, is I can hear your jovial laughter in my head. You have such a unique laugh, and it cracks me up. I love it. And when you get all making noises, you know, like doot doot doot. I do that too by myself. I wish that's the next update. Is ZBrush needs to have sound effects with everything, right? It's like I'm only kidding because that virtual reality software, sculpting software, does have sound effects, and it's distracting. It's way distracting. It sounds like shaving cream. It's like it's horrible, horrible. Stop it. I prefer to use my own sound effects. Okay. I can record you. There you go. Just voice. It's like whoop, whoop, whoop. Rabbit. Oh man. Ding! Oh, son of... No! Okay, here we go. Let's add some thickness. I don't think I have that overlapping enough. Let's see. So that's another thing I kind of wish the ZModeler had, was an extrude from edge. So instead you have to go insert an edge like this and then mask it off. Let's see, I'm going to solo it here. I hope I can get everything in there. Yeah. Invert the mask and then just pull it over like this. But yeah, Tomas was showing me a cool trick yesterday. I'll have to try that. I'll have to rewatch it and see what you did again. So Oddwano, it's still in that gimmick phase, in my opinion. Gimmick phase. That's my opinion. It is not usable in production, but that I feel like that's the way things are headed. So you should definitely give it a try. But I actually hope ZBrush 5 has some VR action coming. I hope. I can wish and dream. Yep. Because it is fun to be in the same space as your sculpt. So right now there's still a disconnect, right? Because my sculpt is in my screen and you know I'm out here. But in VR it's incredible because you can scale your sculpt down to really small and you can scale it way up to really big. And that's what I said, that's kind of part of the novelty. But it's crazy because you can really get in there and tweak some stuff. So, but as far as like sculptability, not the best. It's more voxels and stuff, just not very controllable. Okay, that's all I'm going to say about that. Pixelogic, please make VR. That's my Christmas wish. My Christmas wish. I'm trying to decide if I think I want to push it in, not to pull it out. Let's see. There we go. You have to be careful when you extrude inwards instead of outwards because it'll flip your normals, and I have double turned on. So I'll turn double off and sure enough my normals are flipped. So I need to get flip out on my interface here. Same thing. Flip it. Doesn't really matter that much inside ZBrush, but sometimes some things you'll be like, why isn't that working? Why is that going out instead of pushing in? And usually that's why. Thomas, I have not heard a thing. I have not heard a thing. So, and I doubt they'll say a thing until they make the thing. Okay. Let's get the creases on here. Crease, crease, crease. Let's see. Group by normal. There we go. I doubt Kyle can say anything either. Let's see. Crease level. Beautiful. Gosh. I don't want to go all the way around. I just want to polygroup these. I'll just do single poly and pick them. Pick, pick, pick. Whoops. There we go. Because I don't want to extrude what I'm going to do all the way around the surface. Is the stream rebuffering a lot? I'm watching the stream live myself, and it looks like it's doing pretty good. Like I said, Tomas, give me a buzz or whatever. I'll help you out with that. Not that I'm a good jewelry renderer, but I've rendered in Keyshot enough to kind of make my way around. Extrude, polygroup all. Okay. Just rebuffer. You try restarting Twitch, or you can also get the Twitch desktop app. That might be a little more solid for you. Or maybe you have internet gremlins slowing your speed down. Okay, I need to come in here and rework the creasing. So this is what the color is starting to look like. It's not quite what I want. my dirty blue. I love it. Saying my dirty blue. Hey, I actually met the guy behind the... Yeah, you were there two years ago, right? When Malachus the Black was there at ZBrush Summit. He's a cool guy. We drank some beers. If I wanted to create a realistic head, could I do it this way as well? Theoretically, yes. Realistic stuff, I've only done minimal, you know. I haven't done a ton of that, but I know that realistic games are moving towards scan data more and more and more. So they will actually scan real people and then use ZBrush to come in and do the retopology or Z-remesh it and then tweak it and remodel it that way. And so I wouldn't typically... I don't think they would use the method that I'm using here, but you could. Let's see, I need to... I'm not too smutty. I'm not sure if you can turn down the resolution, the compression. You might be able to in your Twitch settings. Okay. What's up, bud?
Why did you have your door closed?
I'm streaming.
Oh, okay.
Want to come say hi?
Sure.
Okay. This is my kiddo. One of them.
Hi.
Can you see him? Look in the camera right there. Hi. Okay, good night.
Bears.
Good night, buddy. Love you. Can you shut the door? Thanks. He's pretty high poly. Rendered him out pretty good. Okay. Now sometimes I like to continue my edge crease all the way around. His name's Braxton. He's a smart kid. He reminds me of that kid on yeah, blocked him out with primitives. Yeah, he's rigged pretty good. Anyway, he reminds me of that kid from Jerry Maguire. The one's like, a human head weighs 8 pounds. He's full of facts like that. He likes to watch TED Talks and stuff. He's a Nostradam nerd. If that guy's still here. Okay. So there we have kind of an interesting collar. Now I got to do the same thing to the other side. Yeah, 3D printers. It's printed in color. Oh, really? So I think if you've played Horizon Zero Dawn, I think they use scan data for those. Yeah, young Sheldon. Exactly. He's not quite that level, but he's more of a geeky nerd like me, I guess. Like, at least I like to think that anyway. He's awesome. Okay. And I have a 15-year-old and a 10-year-old. And a 20-year-old. 20. Yes. He's married and he's having a kid. He's not having a kid, but she's, you know what that makes me? Ancient. Ancient. What happened? Where did the time go? I know, right? Makes me very busy. Very busy. Oh, now the Twitch thing just went out saying I just went live an hour ago. Or okay. All right, ZModeler. No, I don't want to extrude it. I want to assign new polygroups. Here we go with the sounds. Blue and pink. Oh, really? Said I was Paul? Yeah, Paul Gabry, he streamed earlier today. He does this really cool ask or say what, I think it's called. Kyle, are you still around? You can link to Paul's stuff. Anyway, it's super informative. Very good. All right, let's extrude these guys. AFX Winter, what's up? Oh, thank you. Thanks for joining. Another student. Thank you for joining us today. Let's see, extrude, polygroup all. Did you know? Okay, thanks. Did you know this about ZBrush? And it's the 4R8 series. So I just run smooth over this because you could see that before they were right next to each other, the polygons or the vertices. So then I just come in here and use smooth and smooth it down, just so it adds that bevel, but it gives it a more organic feel. Oh, hey, what's up, Ginger? Yeah, your bust is coming along great, man. I think you've really captured those shapes. I haven't commented yet because I'm waiting for you to get a little bit further, but it's coming along. Thanks. I'm glad you're digging it. All right. Did I miss anything? Oh, let's see. Oh, dissertation at Uni on stylization within character design. Do you know of any topics I could talk about? Stylization within character design. Let's see. I guess you could talk about how stylization is also a simplification process. I treat stylization a lot like caricature, where you exaggerate and you kind of limit things. I was going to say de-exaggerate. What do you call that? Not de-exaggerate. Lessen, diminish. There you go. Whatever you want to call that. You know, when you're doing a caricature of someone, you make big things bigger and small things smaller, that kind of thing. And also you just simplify. So talk about, you know, how much more you would simplify something than if you were doing it realistically, maybe. All right. Ronnie Rocks, what's up, man? You're gonna make fun of me for life on that one. When am I gonna upload the December challenge? In December. Soon. Super soon. December 1st, I will. It's coming. So you guys that are not in my course, I've set up a every other month I do a challenge. This is my second challenge. So the first one was October Halloween challenge, and the students absolutely killed it. And then I'm going to have a winter challenge. I haven't really told them the details yet, just that it was coming. Winter is coming. Yeah, this month is skull rings. You'll do awesome. Okay. Keep getting distracted, you guys. That'd be awesome, Mad Duck. Be cool to see. Crease, edge loop, partial. Oh man, that spiky hair. That was great, though. Oh. Here, I should show you guys. Let's see. I think I showed it last time, but... So this is the forum from my course, and these are the winners of last month's, or October's challenge, Halloween challenge. Look at that. So amazing. Like, I didn't teach him that, right? So, these guys, yeah, my students are amazing. And then in these character work in progress stuff, it's just really cool stuff. So, but I won't show those without permission. Anyway, that's the forum, and yeah, it's awesome. I'm just gonna finish creasing this. Okay, there we go. Now we can come in there and, yeah, it's only for my students. And I put, because I do a lot of stuff. Like I do, I need to get back into the groove of it, but I do student feedback video sessions, like live video sessions. I'm still trying to figure out how to do that, because I would do those using the Facebook live feed, which worked really great. It's just like this Twitch stream, except for I push it to Facebook instead of Twitch. So I need to figure out if I need to use like YouTube Live to push to my forum, or if I still just push to the live Facebook and then grab it and stick it in the forum later. I'm not sure. I'm still figuring that stuff out. C squared. Say everything again. I wasn't listening. What was that on? Oh, the Lego movie. I love that movie. He's just daydreaming, thinking about how pretty she is. Oh, you're so pretty. And she's just blabbing on and on and on. Love it. Okay. Let's see. I'm trying to think of what I want to do next here. House visits one by one. I want to have these kind of offset, this overlap. I know that's not really how this should work. I might need to figure out that collar, something else with that collar later. It's just kind of a weird overlappy thing. I'll have to do some research and find something similar. I might take this down and actually, like, you know, make that corner end like a vest would. You know how it kind of goes and drops, rather than this kind of a collar. This collar doesn't really make that much sense on something that overlaps. So I might have to revisit that later, but for now I'm gonna leave it. Okay, so I'm just looking. So I usually build the costuming from the ground up, and starting from the skin layer first, and then building on top of that over and over again, until finally I just add all the little bits and details and things like that. So I'm trying to decide. I think I'm going to do the duster next, because the duster goes all the way down the arms, and it covers all this stuff. And I might build it in several parts, because a duster has this overlapping shoulder piece that goes all, you can't see it, but it goes straight across the back usually. So dusters are unique that way. They're not like typical cowboy duster. See if I can see one that has that kind of a thing. Well, so you can see these shoulders, how they stick out, and then show me the back. There we go. There we go. See this? See how it has this flap and it comes around the back like this? That's kind of how they work. So I'm going to take this reference and park it up on my other screen. So I'll build the underlying part first, and then I will build the collar and this overlappy piece after that. Let's see. Okay. Ninjago looks great. Yeah. And yeah, they do such good work. Those Lego movie peeps. Okay. So I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm just gonna draw half the duster on there. But you'll see these flaps down here. And you're like, well, how are you gonna draw that on him? Because he doesn't match that, right? A lot of trench coats. A lot of trench coats. So I'm going to duplicate these pants and use those as a base. And then I'm going to draw some spheres. Basically, I'm going to give myself a surface to draw these flaps on top of. Look at that. What do you think of that? Beautiful. Okay. Delete hidden. Awesome work. Okay, I gotta rethink this. Hold on a second. Yeah, I'm doing this wrong. I only need one right in the middle because this whole thing is kind of a flaring cylinder, right? Oh, what's up? Shas... your name's too hard to say. I'll call you Shaswata. Shaswata. Sorry. Let's see. In fact, I'm just going to use a cylinder. Just a straight up cylinder. Shaz. There you go. Shas or Shaz? Shas. Welcome to the stream. Glad you could make it. So, I'm going to tell you something about the cylinder. This is a cylinder that I made in Maya, and they made it as part of my insert multi-mesh. Let me delete hidden. And the reason it's unique is because it's made of quads, so there is not a pole at the top. So when you subdivide it, it's not going to subdivide and jam a billion little polygons right at that pole. Because every time you subdivide, it what do you call it? Quadrangulates every single poly. So it divides it by 4. And if you have a pole, it's jamming all those polygons near that pole. And sometimes it'll even crash. Sometimes it'll make Dynamesh misbehave. It's just bad news. So this one is made out of quad polygons. And you'll also notice that it does not have any spans up and down the length of the thing. And I think this new cylinder, it's this poly cylinder. So I made this cylinder before the gizmo and these new primitives existed. So you can do the same thing with this poly cylinder, just so you know. It's here if you want it. But I'm just used to using my insert mesh brush, so that's what I'm going to do. And so the reason I don't have spans is for this particular reason that I'm going to show you right now. And that is, if I want to make a cone, and this was full of spans all the way down the length of the thing, I would have a hard time getting a nice cone shape out of it because every single span would be interrupting that flow. So if I don't have any spans, I can mask off the bottom like this and just shrink the top into a cone. Easy. Easy peasy. So now I'm starting to get the shape of the bottom of the duster in place. Oh, what's up, Curious Art Fox? How's it going, man? Creeping in. EAE Day? I don't think so. Sorry, hold on a sec. I'm just moving my foot thing around. His lower arms look like Popeye. They sort of do, huh? Thick old forearms. Okay, let's see. So I'm gonna center this. Reset it. One more time. All right. So what is that AEA thing? Gabe has not told me about it. Keyshot is just for rendering assets, yes. We only used it for marketing shots when I worked on Disney Infinity. So marketing renders only. It's very complementary to ZBrush because you can just push it right over. So it's super easy to use as far as that is concerned. Okay. Oh, nice. Okay. So how many games are you guys going to be showing? So, Curious Art Fox, he's a student at the, well, he's a graduate of the University of Utah Game Art program. So, and I go and speak up there once in a while. I have some... Yep, he's slacking. And Gabe is a friend of mine that works there as an instructor. And he has me, like, sometimes I'll judge the contests and things like that for them. Okay. So essentially what I'm doing now is I'm making a dress for him. No, I'm giving myself topology to draw my topology brush on, because I want this shape, but I have nothing to draw on, so I make it. So now what I can do is I can come down and through here and just draw this all the way through, all the way down and back up. So now I just need to look and see. It'll be a little tricky back here on the neck, but yeah, it should be good. Okay, let me look at the comments really quick. What made you want to get into character modeling? You know, I've been doing this for, I think 19 years now, 18 years, and I've been a character modeler since 1996, 97, something like that. And I got out of it for a while and I was an animator, and then I was a rigger, and then I came back to modeling just because it was just, I just love it. So I love the challenge of taking someone's design and making it into 3D. I just, for some reason in my head, that's just magic to me, and it's also like a challenge. It's like, you know, driving the stake. It's like, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna see if I can hit it, you know? And so I get really excited when I see a nice concept. Like this cowboy, when I saw this guy, I'm just like, oh, yes, you know? I can't wait. So, yeah, I love it. I love the challenge of it, and I love trying to nail it, you know, nail that concept. So I just gravitated towards it, and that's so I came back to it, and that's what I love to do. So let's see. Hope that answers your question. Let's see. His lower arms look like Popeye. Yes. Learning ZBrush to create game assets. Just a hobby, really, but I'm thinking of getting Keyshot and ZBrush Bridge. How does Keyshot fit into the ZBrush game? I think I answered that already. Asset pipeline. Is Keyshot just for renders? Yes. I should. So I have plantar fasciitis, whatever it's called, where you're like, your arch like stretches too much, and yeah, I won't go into details, but it hurts. So and my back and stuff, I like to stand. So I have this cushion on the floor, and it's like this thick, and that's what I stand on, and it's just good for you. So, let's see. When I look at a 2D image of a cartoon character, how to figure out the shapes? I know it comes with experience, but for a beginner, how do you go about it? Like I said, like you said, it does come with experience, and that's why I suggest starting out with more simpler characters, like those Preston Blair characters, like those ducks and goats and things like that, where the actual primitive shapes are lined out for you. Here, let me just show you really fast. Right? Beautiful skirt. So let me show you really fast. So it's essentially this premise right here. I mean, yeah, I wasn't the first, and I won't be the last, but you can see, like, you just kind of have to look inside and see the volumes and what primitive shapes would fit there the best. And typically, I don't use cylinders. I don't stretch a cylinder out. I would prefer to stretch out a sphere into a cylindrical shape rather than use a cylinder. Like for fingers and things like that, I will typically use it just because it ends up being more organic, and the joints end up looking more organic, if that makes sense. The second you put a cylinder in there and it's equal on all sides, and it has like a flat top and bottom, it starts to look very mechanical and robotic. So I tend to just use spheres. So here's a fantastic example. See this? So if you just look at this guy, you're like, I can't see the primitives in there. But if you study how Preston Blair does it, even how he lays the volumes on top of those primitive shapes, and see how this lower lip is sticking out, that's its own volume. And these two, like those little nose things, and then the jowls hanging down, you can see how it's constructed. And this goes a long way to help you understand how primitives work inside of a character like this. So I would suggest doing a search for Preston Blair, and there's tons and tons and tons of images that he has done to break down, you know, how these characters are built. Like, look at all these faces. Fantastic. And it's exactly the same. This is what's in my head when I'm thinking about doing the primitive shape method for a character, is this construction method. So I hope that helps. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, let's see. That's what I like about doing commission work. It's what I loved about setting tile and stone, take someone's vision and bring it into the world. Exactly. Exactly. So would a surface book work for modeling? It can. I have some friends that have surface books, but your real estate is small, and ZBrush is very CPU intensive. So if you get up into the millions and millions and millions of polygons, your book could suffer a bit. So it's possible, but then you have to start being smart about your poly budgets and things like that. You kind of have to work with it. So, okay. Ronnie, thank you. All right. Two Umbertos, they record this session, so you can watch it on YouTube, on the Pixelogic YouTube channel. Just do Pixelogic Shane Olson, and I think it's up within a day or two. You know, they watch to make sure I'm not doing all the swears and all the, you know, go try this software that's not ZBrush and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, they usually put it up within a day or two, and you can watch. So all of my past streams are up on Pixelogic channel. You can check those out. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, Wild Kitty, I have the same intention where I would like to sculpt my character. I don't have any skill in drawing. What is your input? My input is I am not a very good sketch artist, but I can draw, and I have drawn all my life. I'm not, that's not my forte, so I'm not a master at it by any means. But sketching can only help the construction of your characters. And I have a feeling I could probably sketch better now if I tried than I could a long time ago, just because of, you know, how it's because I've been sculpting for so long and I have the volumes and things in my head, but I'm still not that good of a sketch artist. I'll be the first to admit it. Okay, am I still with Disney? No, I'm not. I'm just doing my course full time now. That's what I do for a living, and so far it's worked out well, and I hope to keep it up. So if you are in the course, spread the word, please. Let's get some more people in there. That would be awesome. Okay, so now that I have this, I'm going to make sure I save this. Let's see. I was where I wanted to be. There we go. Okay. If I'll announce the December contest. It's like 2 days, man. 2 days. Join us. Okay, topological. Here we go. Let's start going. Oh, I got to freeze. That's right. So this topological brush will not work on meshes with multiple subdivision levels. So you have to go in here and delete lower on the cylinder. Now it'll work. Hey, what's up, Roblums? Is what open? Is the course open? Not right now. It will be. Just get on my newsletter, and you will be notified when enrollment will become available. And I want to open it one more time before the end of the year. So, thanks, man. Okay. This is going to be tricky. What I usually like to do is I like to split my clothing into four sides first. So I take it down this arm. So the front and the back, and then you can see the front and the back of the torso. Even though the front isn't all the way closed, it's still the front of the duster and the back of the duster. Then down the sides. And I'll adjust this afterwards too. Okay. Then down, I guess you could call this the front of the arm and the back of the arm. And then just take it across. Will this model be rigged and animated? That is yet to be seen. I would love it to be, because I'm at least going to 3D print it. That's the goal for this guy, is 3D printing, just like I did with the Pirate Girl. But I'm not quite sure if I will actually get it rigged or not. I would like to. That'd be cool. Oh, Wild Kitty, that's good. That's great, man. I'd love to see you in there. And honestly, too, I love the mix of I have a good ratio of females in there, and it makes me extremely happy. Because in the past, game development has been notoriously dudes. And it's good to get some not dudes in there. Dude bros. Okay, that's not what I wanted to do. Ronnie, thought you'd get a kick out of that. Yes, I'm pleasantly surprised at the amount of ladies. Okay, so, yeah, not dudes. Well, it's like man, woman, right? Dude, not dude. I don't know. Oh, maybe all this standing has got my, there's no blood in my brain. Dudes. Dudes. Okay. I know I'm going to get myself into trouble in this armpit. Let's see. Dudettes. Absolutely. Duderinos. The dude skis. Also, it's nice to work large to small when you're doing these polys here. Meaning, I make these giant squares first, and then I'll come in there and I will, I'll add some, you know, I'll subdivide these, make them smaller. But I like to work large first. Hey, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Let's see. Yeah, having that duster open on the front's already screwing up my width ratios in the back here. Also, you can go across. If you didn't know this, you can hold down Control, not Control. Gosh. What is it? I'm trying to think of, I'm trying to remember how to draw across there. Yes, this is ZBrush. Did the stream hang? I don't think so. No? Looks like it's still going for me. I think I might have been thinking about something else. But I'll stop in between lines here so I can continue it around. I'll kind of follow the geometry of that underlying piece a little bit. Okay, let me go smaller here. There we go. It occasionally buffers for you every so often. Yeah, I was doing that for me the other day too. Yes, this is a Cintiq. All right, Walker Studios. Thank you so much for stopping by. Hopefully, I'll see you again next time. I'm gonna get this better. That's not better. Get this line into the pit more. So if you ever draw a line over another line and it does not make a green circle, that means that it's not going to work for you. Whoa. So you have to delete it, just try it again. And try drawing it the opposite direction. Yeah, it's still having issues. Maybe I'll have to come down out of the pit a little bit. Gosh dang, what's going on? See how it makes that green circle when I cross the streams? And it's not doing it here. So it looks like, see these tick marks? It looks like that's where I can put, where I can draw across. I just discovered that actually. And then if you draw a line and it doesn't connect, see how it makes this green dot? That's also bad. So let's clear that out and just do it again. You want green dots here and here, but not in the middle. Okay. Yeah, Cintiq, I built up to this. I didn't just go out and buy this. I saved for many, many years to get this thing. And I had a 24 HD before this one. And yeah, there are other alternatives out there as well, like the Huon. So you can see the reason I don't have polygons here is because I do not have a green circle right here. So I'm going to have to redraw that and make it more better. Now the smaller your brush when you're drawing, the more ticks it will make along that line. See that? And I don't know why. So now I have one here and here, but I don't have one here and here. I do not know why. So let's try it again, going this way. Oh, there they go. That's what I wanted. Well, I'm having a tough time here. There we go. So I increase my brush size just so it'll grab those ticks easier. Come on, give me a green. I might have to draw this one again. Let me check it out, Tiago. Hold on a second. I want to see. Oh yeah, very cool. So, a little tip for you on, well, two tips. So, for appeal, to help you with appeal on stylized characters, I would omit the lower eyelid. Actually, I just build it up so there's not a crease in between the lower eyelid and where the face starts, because that just makes your character look older and not as appealing. So if you smooth that out and don't get rid of the lower eyelid, just make it not as apparent that it has a crease underneath it. So that's one tip. And the other tip is make sure your lips aren't like super kissy lips, you know, like this part is not scooped clear out. That's kind of an early modeler mistake, I guess, is making the lips stick clear out. Because what happens is usually it just comes off of that area above the lip and it just goes to that point and then curves under. It doesn't necessarily swoop clear out. I mean, it does on some people. It depends on the actual person that you're modeling after or the concept you're modeling after. But even Angelina Jolie, she has big lips, but they don't like stick clear out. You know what I mean? You have to you just check your references and you'll see what I'm talking about. But that's another thing that helps a lot with appeal. Okay, so let's see. I'm getting lost in this. I'm starting to make a spiral. I don't want the spiral. I need these to connect. Come on. There we go. I can't win tonight. I can't win with these. There we go. Okay. Oh, tentacles. Yeah, those take forever. So, are you using an insert mesh brush? You can make one with that will repeat the suction cups along as you're dragging it along. It will place them. Book, 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 book. I'm trying to remember where I saw somebody talking about how to do that. Yeah, you can do them as an alpha brush, or what's that new brush that has 3 dimensions when you drag it out? That's a good one. Yep, here's another line that's not crossing the green. Come on. There. Come on, there we go. Jeez. Just do it. Oh my goodness. Sorry if I'm boring the crap out of you guys. Tedious. This is tedious too. VDM. Everybody's like, VDM, VDM, VDM. VDM. Yes. VDMs are amazing. Do some suction cups. I bet somebody's already made a brush, a suction cup brush with VDM. Do a search for it. Did that not draw across? Okay. There we go. Okay. Well, good. Thank you. So what I'm trying to do now is I'm just trying to match the silhouette. I'm not putting them as often as I could. I will actually use the insert edge brush from the ZModeler later on after I make it. But right now I'm just going to just keep going here. This will be the end of the jacket. And sometimes it depends on the amount of topology I'm doing, but, and I'm sorry Pixelogic, but I will take this outside of ZBrush and retopologize it elsewhere and then bring it back. That's what I probably would have done with this jacket to save some time. Just because as cool as this topology brush is, it's awesome, but it could be a little better. Okay, there we go. We've got that part, and it should be easy enough just to go down. And after I get to a certain point, I'll do the exact same thing as kind of the idea behind the cylinder, where I just put in one cut up here and one cut all the way at the bottom, so it's just kind of a straight thing. And then after I make my single-sided polygons, then I will come in and just like cut in a whole bunch, so that way I don't have to sit and tediously draw in these lines. So I'm going to put one around here because that's where the lats cut in. I want to follow that underneath, but of course it doesn't give me lines. Oh gosh. There we go. Let's see. Oh, would there be anywhere you could suggest to look to inform you on the simplification process? Oh my gosh. So yeah, I think Tom Bancroft talks about it in his character design book. I've read so many design books. I'm trying to remember which one talks about what. But yeah, Tom Bancroft, he is an ex Disney traditional animator he makes, I'm trying to think, let me see if I can find it for you really fast. He was at CTN. So yeah, this guy right here, Creating Characters with Personality by Tom Bancroft. I think he covers it in here. So if you look for that book or things online. Another thing to look for is Grizz and Norm 101 Tuesday Tips. Look for that on Pinterest. There's a whole bunch of pages taken out of that book and put up on Pinterest. Or get the book. They just released it again for the second time. They sold out of the first run. And that book is absolutely phenomenal for tips and tricks on simplifying your characters and designing your characters. It covers a whole ton of different things. I'd actually recommend that book for exactly what you're looking for. So Grizz and Norm 101 Tuesday Tips, I believe. Yeah. I can't believe I didn't think about that one in the first place. But they're both fantastic books. Okay. I'm going to put one more span around the waist. Yes, you're going to get hung for that. Reminds me of that Pace Picante sauce commercial. Did you say New York City? Okay, so now I have the general coverage of this duster. So it's going all the way down, and see, I didn't have to put a whole bunch of spans across here. It's just one long one all the way down, and that makes it even easier to edit. So what I can do is just clean these up. I don't have to clean these up, but I'm going to clean those up, and then I'm going to go to Draw Size 1, click on the surface to make it a single-sided polygon group. And there we go. There's our duster. Okay. And now I can delete that. Yeah, that software is a good place to start. I mean, it's free, right? It's free. Whoa. Okay, so I just want to inflate this just a bit. So I'm gonna see how it says hold control to inflate on scale. And you can just kind of inflate it outwards. There we go. Then we can come in here and just kind of neutralize these, or just kind of relax these points across. And then I'm going to uncrease all. I don't want that crease down the center. And I can hit D, but you'll see what D does. If I hit dynamic subdivision level, if I hit D, see these orange points represent where the real mesh is. And it is, when it subdivides, it's actually shrinking the mesh. And that's not, you can crease the edges and it'll stay, but I'm going to wait till I have more geometry before I go ahead and use that dynamic subdivision. Okay, I don't want to pull that down just yet. Okay, let's see. So I'm just going to manually move these around. Point pushing. ZRemesher is phenomenal. I'm not going to lie. But yeah, it's not but you're not wasting your time getting good at retopping either. So I'm just trying to even out this topology, even though they're gigantic squares. And then, just like I did with the collar, I will make it separate. I will not sew it in to to this base here. I'm going to make it separate so it sits on top, because all I care about is baking the high to the low. I don't care if it's stitched in. I would care if I was doing a film character, because the clothing, when the character animates, will actually get simulated, and it will flop around, and you'll see if it's not connected. And in that case, I usually go to something like Marvelous Designer, or you know, some kind of a cloth simulator. Not that I make characters for films very often, but I have a lot of friends in the film industry, and I've been asking them different questions about, like, what's the difference between film and game, you know, because that's a really good question. A lot of people want to know. Vampire the Masquerade LARPing, absolutely, dude. Vampire the Masquerade is, I'm not gonna lie, it's one of my favorite games I've ever played. Like the old one, the first one that came out. I really liked it. It had a very slow start, like very slow start. It actually took me 4 times to push through that start. Oh, you bought Drax and Iron Fist? Sweet. Sorry, King. You're trolling me, bro. No, it's cool. Thanks for picking that up, ICP. Yeah, that guy. Let's see. I have him right here. Yeah, these two dudes you're talking about. Here, I'm gonna go full screen. Look at these. Right? It's like, stop. Alright. Anyway. Too fun. Oh, no. It was not broken. Who made these toys? Cheap quality. Okay, then I'll typically put one in here. Not that it's going to bend, but so that way if it does bend, it'll have some geometry in there. Oops. See how much easier this is than drawing each line by hand? Nice even topology. And then I'll set my smooth intensity super low, and then just kind of go over it and relax these polys. So they even out. Oh, yeah, that'd be nice, right? So now I'm going to slide these around. See, there's these two on the front are rather close. Well, these three are rather close. So what I'm going to do is slide them. That's a beautiful thing with Edge Loop Complete with ZModeler, is I can grab this and slide it. Slide this one back. I want to keep this one in the center. I could probably cut one more back here. I will. So I'm going to insert. I'm going to turn my intensity up to about a 3. So when I insert this, it's going to poof it out up a little bit instead of keep it flat. Back to slide. Ugh. Okay, let's see. Oh, Sumerian. Yeah, that's my little upgrade I did. You can see the moles on my face. Still is sorcery. Yeah, it is. But man, once you, just like anything else with ZBrush, once you get used to it and you like rein it in, it's so powerful. It is so powerful. Okay. And now that I kind of understand how it works, I much prefer it over any other box modeling program, honestly. Okay, I'm going to insert another one here. Not inset, insert. Like this. There we go. Digital magic. Unicorns and rainbows. It really is. Honestly, like it's like the price of admission. Not the price of admission. The cost of learning is so steep. You know, you have to really say, okay, I'm going to spend the time to learn this thing, and I'm going to invest this time. And the learning curve is like probably the steepest of any software I've ever used. It's like a wall, right? And most people hit the wall and then run away with their tail between their legs. But if you stick with it and you climb that wall and you get over the top, it's like paradise on the other side. You can make anything in this program, and I mean anything. Like environments, houses, you know, objects, characters, cars, it doesn't matter, anything. But until then, there's a good chance you'll be frustrated because you don't quite understand how it all comes together, how it all works for you. Yes. Like, become one with like that SpongeBob episode. Become one with the marble. Lick the marble. Hug the marble. That's my favorite SpongeBob episode. Not that I'm a huge SpongeBob fan. Nice. Okay. So, there you go. Decently even topology. Didn't take too long. And now we have... okay, I'm going to show you guys a trick. Date the... That's right, date the marble. Oh man, that episode. Okay, so you'll notice something that I missed when I was building this, and that is the cut up the back of the duster. Like, I'm pointing at it like you can see it. Right there. So it's right here, this cut up the back. And what I can do is I'm going to do mirror and weld just to make sure it's symmetrical. What I can do is I can turn symmetry off. There we go. And what mirror and weld does is it will take anything on the left side of the screen and mirror it to the right side of the screen. So here's the trick. If I push this, and I'll turn on the floor so you can see. So see, this line is center. If I push this over, off center, you can kind of see what's happening here. I'm going to cut it even more. One more. Why not? Okay, so see how I did that? Now, if I hit mirror and weld, look what it does. Turn that floor off. See that? It gives you a cut. Looks like I went too far. Okay, so I'm going to grab this now, and I'm going to, so see how it made a problem? See this problem right here? That's a problem. That's not what I want. So I'm going to actually drag this over to this side. Mirror and weld again. Look at that. It fixed it. See that? Mirror and weld is amazing if you know how to embrace it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hide these polygons. Boom, like that. And simply hit delete hidden. And there's my cut. See, that's exactly backwards from what you would do in like Maya or Blender or whatever. You know, you would like grab the vert or grab the edge and cut it and then split it, right? But in this, it's like, and it wouldn't have taken me as long as it did to show you guys, but I will just push it around and then flip it, and yeah, that's exactly, that's That's kind of making the software do what you want it to in different ways, in ways that you're not used to. And that, like I said, that just comes with practice, and you know, you're here watching me stream, and hopefully you'll pick up these little tidbits. I pick up new tidbits every time I watch someone else. Like when I was watching Tomas yesterday doing his jewelry thing, I learned 2 new things watching him, and I was just like, add those to my belt, you know? Super cool. So, okay. Let's add some thickness to this guy now that we have that cut. Lips. Lips like sugar. No. Closer. Better. But no. Like, with stylized characters, you can almost fill that entire area above the lips flat, and watch how it'll make it more appealing. Mark my words. Save off a version, in case you don't like it, save off a version and try it. That is what my fill brush right here, this fill brush, that's what I use that fill brush for, is to fill in valleys like that and just bring it right up. So closer, you're closer. Okay, let's see. Whoops, I am not in symmetry any longer. There we go. Now you need to reshape this thing. Yep, you guys have a lot of my students in here, and now they're becoming like Dumbledore's army, like Shane's army, and now they know what I'm gonna say. They can predict what I'm gonna say, and they'll jump in and say it before I can. And one of the things I say is the warbles. You've got an extreme case of the warbles. You should see somebody about those. One of us. Dumbledore's army. I like that. We'll conquer the world together. Sumerian. What's up, Dark Place? Welcome to the stream. Oh, man. Sorry. I gotta stretch my back. I'm streaming for 3 hours today because of my mistake. So, my mistake, your gain. I just started. I was nervous. I just started. But I'm glad I haven't streamed for 3 hours for a while, so I'm getting some good progress made here. Okay, it looks like a hoity-toity high-end hotel bathrobe. It's like, can I have a bathrobe, sir? Yes. Just need to inscribe his name on there, whatever his name is. We need to make a vaccine for the warbles. Let's see. I keep streams and videos going in the background while I work because I pick up bits and pieces of knowledge as I go. Yes, it's really helpful since I don't work in a studio and don't get tips from other people in person. Absolutely. You should watch every streamer on here, even if they stream something that you're not interested in or you wouldn't be typically, like Tomas, for example. When he's doing his jewelry stuff, you're like, I'm not going to do jewelry. Maybe you will. But for me, I'm actually curious and I want to try it now. So I highly recommend watching streamers that don't necessarily do what you want to do. And like Michael Palfovich is a great one. And Ashley, fantastic. Brendan Bensington is phenomenal. He does realistic stuff. So if you're interested in realistic stuff, check him out. And if you're interested in creatures, check out Ashley. And then if you're interested in just the tech, the raw tech of what ZBrush can do, there's Paul Gabery, and there is, I'm trying to think of, well, there's Joseph Drust, and Michael Palfovich is kind of one of those, and Tim is one of those. So yeah, just look at the schedule and follow Pixelogic. And if you want to try it, they have a 45-day trial down there? I'm trying to remember. Anyway, you can download ZBrush and try it for a while. Yes, Michael Palpovich, he is you know, when they mention Dumbledore, like all the things Dumbledore is, like Merlin first class or whatever, that's Michael Palpovich. He's like sculptor first class, blah blah blah. Anyway, fantastic resource. Streaming is. I just did a Yoda there. Okay. I need to flip it. Display properties. Flip. There we go. Even though you didn't see it, it flipped it. See, if I don't crease the edges now, and I just do dynamic subdivisions, you'll see that it does do an interesting edge here. Let me turn it off. There we go. So if your game is something like Assassin's Creed or something like that, where the edges of your clothing, they're not necessarily like stark sharp. You can do it like this, and this works just fine. But the baking of the maps is slightly different procedure when you do stuff like this. So because you have to have enough polygons to collect the information that the normal map is going to give you, so the light rolls around it properly, if that makes sense. So in your low resolution mesh, you just have to have enough geometry to capture that. So that's the difference there. But, you know, being who I am, and I'm just used to Disney Infinity looking things, I'm gonna put a hard edge on the edge of this thing because I like it, and it prints so nice. So let's turn this off and do the trick of let's see, group by normals, which will give you this, and then I'm going to mirror and weld again, so I get symmetrical polygroups. Now this isn't working. Yes, learn and watch all the streams you possibly can. And there's also Joseph Druss does Ask ZBrush. So if you're stuck on a particular thing, they're kind of fun just to browse and see what people have asked. But if you're stuck on a particular, you know, roadblock or something like that, just do a search for Ask ZBrush on that particular topic and see if Joseph has done a video covering it. Most likely he has. Then there's also the Z Classroom. That's another really awesome place to learn the basics. There are some advanced stuff there too. Okay, eventually, you know, since he's most likely going to be wearing this coat, you know, most of the time. He's going to be wearing this coat most of the time. He's probably not going to take it off. So you can see all these wasted polygons inside here. So eventually, I will most likely delete these polygons inside on the interior. And the reason why I will do that as well is because when it comes to 3D printing, sometimes those will make holes. It will make like tiny cavities inside of him. So when he prints, it will capture some liquid resin that won't cure all the way because it makes pockets in there. So you have to be really careful. And like I ran into that with one of my characters that made all these little holes. It was a nightmare. So it's best just to be aware of those things as you're building your character. if you guys are familiar with the band Ghost, like he's like a heavy metal Pope guy, and he was holding, I modeled this guy for a company. He was holding his staff, and he was holding his other hand out like this, and the robes were draping off of his arm, and so there was the robes on one side and on the other, and then they came together and underneath the arm, and then they gathered up on the floor. I used Marmoset to do that cloth work. And when they crossed, where all the wrinkles were, they made tons of little pockets of just places to gather that resin. It was, man, that was a nightmare. So I had to spend, and that was before the new gizmo. The new gizmo will allow you to kind of like see if you have holes inside of your mesh. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. I might show you guys one of these times, but anyway, so that wouldn't have happened now with the new gizmo thing, where I can run a cube and subtract it out of the model and run it down my model, and you can actually see all the pockets and holes and you can fill them up. It's really cool. Semi easy to do. 1 second here. Okay. Let's see what we got. Back into the hotel bathrobe look. And a bathrobe and chaps. Okay, we're going to crease him. Crease, polygroups. Now if I hit D, you'll see that it holds that edge nice and thick. And sometimes I'll do the thick to thin. So I'll keep it thin up here where the cloth is actually kind of dragging down on like a shoulder, and the cloth will be thin, and then as it goes down it will gather its own weight and it'll get thicker as it goes down. So I'll tend to make capes and coats and things thicker on the bottom, and then they go to thin up top. It's kind of like doing thick to thin lines when you're drawing. Kind of the same idea. Sounds like a rancher, right? Is that gizmo trick? Yes, it's a live Boolean trick. So you just take a cube, just a cube in its own subtool, and then switch that subtool. Sorry, hold on a sec. Pushing my standing cushion over onto my mic stand. Okay, so so you wear to parties and nothing else, and just a hat. So you put a cube, turn it to subtraction, and then you can just move that cube through your entire model. Anything that's above it or beneath it, sorry, then it will subtract everything, and you can just kind of. If you've used a Formlabs printer, they have that cutting, that it's called a splicer, I think, and you can run that splicer up and down to kind of see how your model's going to splice. So that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Okay. Now this is obviously too thin. So I'm gonna pull it out around his arms because I really want it to fit his anatomy underneath there. I kind of liked his Popeye forearms. Okay, so see, this is the problem. So now that I'm editing it and it's not a single-sided surface anymore, sometimes I'll grab the underneath, see that? And pull it through. And it's easy enough to just, so if I want to edit this, well, I can edit the arm itself and push these in so it's not so big. And that's fine too. But, and I've talked about this in other streams, what if I want to edit this and it keeps giving me problems and now it's messing with the thickness on the back side? What do you do? You know? So what you do is you delete everything except for that single-sided surface. Like that. You just delete it. And then you can edit it again, just as a single-sided surface. Just kind of pull stuff around some more, like this. See all these things peeking through at the back. Just kind of pull them out. You can also use the inflate brush. Just kind of inflate it. Just don't go too crazy. There you go. Okay, and then I can just add the thickness back in. Easy. Just like that. And then just group by polys again. Group by normals, sorry. And then mirror and weld. And then crease by polygroups. And then hit D. And it was that easy. See that? Boom. Easy. Those hands are weird. Gotta fix them. They look like Muppet hands. What's up, Muppet? Cowboy Muppet. Okay, let's see. Let's should I hurry and make that collar? Let's see. Trying to think if I should make this arm. What do you guys want to see next? Do you want to see me make this hat, or this arm guard, or like the knee pads? That's all those things are on kind of the next tier, or the collar of the coat, or that back piece I was talking about. So Hummus, yes, I will open it one more time before the end of the year. If you're on my newsletter, you'll be notified. So if you're not on my newsletter, hop on there. You can get on my newsletter by signing up for my free brushes. You don't have to download them, but that's how you get on my newsletter. All right, Stadius, yeah, thanks for dropping by. You vote arm guard. Where to put the hard edges on the body? No, it's just kind of, you know, it's kind of a design thing. You know, where you put the hard edges. The dinosaur. Do the dinosaur. That wasn't an option, Cody. Oh, funny. All right. So what's crazy about him? Well, I'm trying to think if I should. Because he's like asymmetrical that way. He only has it on his left hand, because his right hand is a shooting hand, you know. So his left arm's kind of like the guard. But okay, the arm guard, armed guard. Okay, so what I can do with this, I'm gonna shrink this down a little bit. Is now that I have this coat, I can use it for the base geometry. Yep, I will eventually get to the dinosaur. I don't know how long it's going to be, like episode 14 or something. Who knows? I think the Pirate Girl went 12 episodes of 3 hours each, and I'm reducing this guy down to 2 hours a piece, so it might stretch it out longer. I don't know. I'm not teaching as much as I did with the Pirate Girl. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm gonna flare this out. Excuse me. You want the hat? All right. Let's do the arm guard really quick, and then we'll get to the hat. So we have about 45 minutes. Let's see if we can get that arm guard done. Doctor or cowboy? Doctor, cowboy, doctor. Okay, here we go. So what do? We gotta save this first. That's what we do. And then let's duplicate, hide the original, because we're gonna destroy this while making the new one. And I'm gonna hide everything that isn't the single surface and delete it. Okay, so it comes to his elbow and then above it on the back side here. Then it's pointy. Okay. Done. Delete hidden. There they are. Arm guards. So I'm gonna make them mirrored, but I'll delete this one after I'm done, just so they're asymmetrical. So he's asymmetrical. Okay. Eastwood MD. I love it. Go ahead, take the pills. Okay, I'm just starting to kind of work this round part in there. Poofy arm guards. So let me show the coat so you can see that they're not poofy. They're resting on the surface of the jacket. But I want it to come out around his elbow. So they kind of flare in at the wrist right here. Kind of like, you know, hourglass-ish shape over the hand. So I really want to get that shape. And then I'll adjust everything underneath it to match. So that's why I wanted to hide the coat and make him look kind of squirrely for a minute. On guard. Making them good. I can't do that. I can't do a good French accent. Sorry. Sorry, France. I apologize. Arm or armed guard. A guard with a gun. You feeling lucky? The doctor's reading the test results. It's all slow. Close-ups of their mouth. Playing that. Let's see. See one more time, Tiago. Getting closer. Getting closer. Yep. Yep. It's looking better. Let's see, like... Yeah, I would just... I'm trying to think. See, it also depends on the style you're going for. Like... if your concept actually has lower eyelids, and if your concept actually has, you know, that lip gutter, I don't even know the word for it. The lip gutter catches rain, you know, gutter. Anyway, I'm horrible. It depends on what the concept, what look you're going for. If you're just winging it and you're just modeling just out of your head, then I would probably go for a peel over realism. So I would get rid of that and just flatten it out. That's my opinion. That's what I always do, just flatten it out. Get rid of the lower eyelids almost completely. You want to have that lower ledge on there, but not the crease underneath it at all. Just like completely destroy it. Get it gone. Okay. Shrink this down. There we go. Giant tubes. You gotta clear that elbow though. Creases. Hey, Tomas, you're still around. Awesome. You must be working. You're all quiet for a while. Because if you have a big piece of hard armor on your hand, on your forearm, if it goes up past your elbow, you're not going to be able to bend your arm. So you got to make sure it's going to clear in the front and clear in the back, so you can move that arm around. Oh man, you're going to make me blush. Yep, sticking around. You get an extra hour of me today. All right. Ronnie. Go 6. Did you seriously stream for 6 hours yesterday? Is that a real thing? That's awesome. I've not streamed more than 3 hours at a time. Crease all the things. You get a crease, and you get a crease. Oprah. What now? Ugh. There. How do it keep sliding over? You stop at 3 a.m. Holy cow. You were in the mode, in the Zen state. That's awesome. Okay. So the reason I'm taking so long, and it looks like I'm just kind of like whittling away at this thing, is because I'm looking for the flow of the piece. So if you look, flow is so important, and it's something that a lot of new modelers just completely blow past. And I cannot tell you how important that is with the silhouette, especially with stylized characters, even with realistic characters. It's just, that's the comfortable thing to look at, is how pieces flow into one another and the nice curve lines. You know what I'm saying? So, like, if this was even like, for example, you know, if this was way out here and this is way, I'm trying to break it, but just if the flow is interrupted, it just makes you feel uncomfortable for some reason. You don't know why, and it's just more pleasing to look at something that leads your eye through the character and actually has some design to it. And that's kind of one of the big differences between a new character modeler and one that's been doing it for a while, is how well they can interpret the concept, but also read into what that concept artist was thinking design-wise, because they're taught, you know, hopefully they're taught the same design principles, and what you're doing is you're interpreting those design principles and making them in 3D. There's a lot of people that say, oh, you can't interpret those concepts in 3D because they're in 2D. You know, like the straights and the curved backs, but you can from certain angles, and it makes a difference. It absolutely makes a difference. Yes. OCD. OCD is the thing. So just, I just get a brush about this size and just nudge. Before, when I was in Maya, it was just pushing points around. Points. Just push them around until they had that absolute solid flow. Okay. I don't know. It's so funny looking at him without his coat and stuff. Like some kind of weird waiter with wrist guards. You should trademark that, Tomas. Tippy tappy time. Welcome to Tippy tappy time with Tomas. Okay. So now that we have the base, that's just the base. I'm just looking at this under here. Then we have to build the bits on the top, and we need to get this shape here. And you'll see that it's a direct repeat of the knee guard right here. So it has these two little ticks. It kind of looks like an alien or something. You have sound effects for it. Give it a little tap, taparoo. Just tap it in. Go to your home. Go to your home, you stupid curve. It's one of my favorite movies. Ronnie. It's so good. Okay, his elbow's still not clearing. I'll bring it down a little bit more. Yeah, waiter, right? It's like some kind of Chippendale. Oh, I'm not going to say anymore. I'm going to get in trouble. Okay. There we go. So let's just start drawing this on. Every time I make a new piece, I save it. So warrior. All right. So I'm gonna start plugging in these little details here. This is exactly how I built Loki's wrist guard when I built Loki. Except for he kind of has 3 tiers to his wrist guards. They're pretty cool. I say wrist guards, but they're like forearm guards. I can't remember the D&D term for them. They're not pauldrons, those are shoulders. What are they? Help me out, geeks of the world. There's some nerd name for them. Happy Gilmore. I need to go watch that again. Greaves, bracers, there you go. There you go. Yes, both the above. Bracers. That's what they call them in Diablo. Bracers. Okay. So back to ye old topology brush again. Okay. And I'm going to look at something. So I love this hard turn right here that it takes. And then this hard turn at the pinch right here. And I'll be putting those in the... Oh, greaves are one on the elbows? I don't know. I don't think I've seen Grandma's Boy. I'm a bigger fan of when he goes back to school. What's that one called? Slide this on that. Just even out this topology a little bit. Back to school. Billy Madison. Back to school. So hot. Aha, there you go. See, I knew. To prove to Dad I'm not a fool. So good. Oh man. Thanks, Joner. There you go. Learned something new. Gauntlets are kind of the full thing, the full hand thing. They're long all the way up to here, like the Infinity Gauntlet. All right, you're gonna get told, Rob. Okay. I see. I still keep tweaking. I can't stop. Okay, here we go. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to actually duplicate this off, and then I'm going to apply that dynamic subdivision because I actually want them to be, the subdivisions to be real, not fake, because the dynamic subdivision is just a preview. So when you're drawing on top of something, it's following that low resolution. So you want to have, I want to have higher resolution so it actually follows the contour of the bracers better. Thank you. Barding for my horse. What is barding? Is that armor? Because when I think of a bard, I think of a dude with a lute. Oh, really? Like the tail ends of it? Okay, once again, I need to delete lower. Delete lower. Okay. There we go. I'll switch it to this gray material so I can see it better. It's going to be a total estimate of where this is going to be. Something like that. And then I'll do, I'm not too crazy worried about it being perfect right now, because I'll come back and I'll do the Tomas Tippy Tappy. I keep saying Thomas. I like saying Tomas better. It's more fun to say. Okay, so it doesn't look like this goes all the way around the back of the arm, but it makes sense that it would. So I'm going to take it all the way around the back. Let's see. Let's see here. Come on, green dots. Huh, I can moderate. Who knew? I guess Kyle's not around anymore. It's true. Let's see. So let's put the bottom one around just like the top. You have that power too, Tomas. Wield the power of the band hammer. Let's see here. So now I want to copy the same edge flow that's happening here and then straight down. Actually, during the summit. Yeah, FX Winner, thanks for stopping by. Thank you, thank you. During the ZBrush summit, since I did have that power, and I think only the other Tomas was, he was the only one moderating like all the stream. You know, all these people talking about ZBrush. And of course, there's just garbage coming out, and Thomas is like, I can't keep up. So I was helping him moderate there for a little while. That was crazy. Okay. Split it here, split it there. I know, they do. These little bastards. Oh. Alright. Did you guys go to that that Scum and Villainy Cantina when you were down there, Tomas? There's a. I just saw that Kevin Smith was there not too long ago. Anyway, a bunch of us, we ended up at the. There's a Scum and Villainy pop-up bar in Hollywood. And it's kind of themed like Star Wars. And I had a student meetup there from my course students. A few of them showed up. Not very many people, not very many of my students were actually in Hollywood at the time, but a few of them showed up. We had a great time. But that bar is pretty cool. One of the bartenders is like dressed up like Han Solo. He had like blue contacts in his eyes, and yeah, he was cool looking. Next time, man. Next time, next time. So I'm essentially just making squares. No, I wish, but I think I heard 6 different types of the Cantina song, different mixes. I think they have something like 12 that they cycle through, and then, you know, they have other Star Wars-ish type music that plays. And they have the blue milk drink and, you know, arms severed, things like that. But they just have the Cantina, like that you see. Yeah, it's just really cool. There's pictures of it online. You can check it out. It's pretty fun. Okay, now that I have this, I do the exact same thing as I did with the duster. I just make a single-sided poly. Oh, come on. How many times is it going to take? There we go. 5. How many licks? Then hide what I drew it on. See, check that out. Let's delete hidden. That's why I always duplicate. So I still have the old armbands. Now I have these. And now I can just come through and just edit these points, tippy tappy. I just like to even them out, just so it's that's how you get it clean. Then I also like to look for the thick and thin. See how it's kind of thinner up here and it goes to thick down here. So I want to make sure I get that. Oh, Chris, they did? Oh yeah, Chris, I missed you there. I thought you would show up. But you had to like work late or something, right? Sucky. So is that one close? The dark side one, is that close? It's right across the street. They just stare at each other. This is pointy down here. So see, I'm looking for that thin to thick as I'm going along here. Same thing, these are a bit thinner. Had to work, dang it. Next time. When you get a concept from someone, do you usually pick their brain about all the different design elements, like what material is this and what is that? Yes, I do, actually, if I have a question about it. And but more often than not, I will ask, like, what does the back look like? And typically they'll draw me just kind of a little detail drawing of that area back there. And another thing I like is I only like to work from 3/4 view characters. I don't like it when concept artists do an actual turn of the character themselves. And the reason why is because usually they get it wrong. It's funny to say that, but they draw the actual character in their head in 3D mode, in their pose with the expression, and they're into it. And then when you ask them to break it down, they just kind of check out of the place that they were in when they did the original, and it just becomes flat and lifeless, and usually the measurements are wrong, and then you're trying to model off of something that they got wrong, you know. And you know, it not to you know, rat on their skills or anything like that. It's just, it's hard. It's really hard to ask a concept person to break down their drawing, what they were thinking, and their turn. So it's, and you want to kind of breathe the essence of that character into your 3D model. So if you have this just cold, flat, you know, stiff character standing there, you're going to end up with a cold, flat, stiff character in the end, where you want to have it alive as you can, even though it's going to be in a neutral pose. You can still breathe some life into it, and that will go much further into getting your art passed off by your art directors, if they can see, hey, that's that guy. And I also kind of preach pose your character as soon as possible for that exact same reason, because once they see the character in motion, in expression, in life, then they're going to say, oh yeah, there's the character. He's right there. He's posing, he's emoting, he looks like we want him to look in the game. Check. Let's check him off. Let's go. So if you're stuck in a T-pose, you know, a neutral pose, and you can't get the art director to buy off on him, even on your own time, like if they say, we don't have time for you to pose him up, well, just take the initiative and take your character home or something, and if they'll let you and pose him up there, it'll make your life so much easier. And I have done that on occasion. And it's funny how people take things for face value. They just cannot see past what they can see, you know? Hey, what's up? Oh my goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike May has entered the building. What's up, Phoebe? They start doing 2D cheats? They do. Right, Phoebe? What's up, man? Yeah, so Mike May is one of my best friends ever, and he is a phenomenal concept artist. So, did you hear what I was saying about concept artists? Mike, tell me if I'm full of lies. Do your character modelers make you do turns of the characters? If they do, you should take them out back and throttle them. Hi. I was just talking about I like working from 3/4 view instead of making the concept artist do turnarounds for me. I was just saying that I'm not a huge fan of turnarounds, because it kind of sucks the life out of the character. Yeah. Okay, what have I missed here? Let's see. When you get a haven't been. Oh, I think you have to get tickets? Oh, really? So it's that new. Wow, okay. Oh, sweet. Yay, Ash. Awesome. We'll tell her I'm talking her up over here in the Pixelogic channel. I think she streams tomorrow. Tomorrow or the next day. She streams soon. She's amazing. She does all the things. Okay, let's add some thickness. Yep. So that's exactly what I'm talking about. I just got done telling these guys too that sometimes I'll occasionally say, "Hey, what does the back look like?" You know, because I can't see the backside. So it's like, "What were you thinking about in this area?" And then you can do just like a little detail drawing of that area, or maybe like, you know, how does the back of the boot work, or how does the mechanism inside the gun work? Like, how did you concept that out? Yeah, just to do little detail things. Works pretty good. Or yeah, the stencil for the tattoo. So when I was working at Disney Interactive, we actually had a guy that was super duper good with Adobe Illustrator and graphic design. And so if we ever had any kind of stickers or stencils or anything like that, we would go ask him if he could bust out some really nice flat art that we can then take the spotlight and then just rub on the model when we're done. I actually had to do Chick Hicks, you know, Chick Hicks, the race car, the green race car with a bajillion stickers on him. So his name is Ben. Ben helped me do all the graphics for all of the stickers, and then I had to put them all over him, and it was nuts. You do tons of callouts. Oh, cool. Oh yeah, so I usually use Spotlight for my concept art right here. This is Spotlight, so you can see right here. And but I will also use Spotlight, yeah, to it's like rubbing decals. You know those decals that you put on eggs at Easter time. You know those rub-ons. It's kind of like that. You just kind of rub the decal onto your model, but you have to have enough resolution to hold the information. Let's see. Gonna extrude this guy. Yeah, it's awesome. I love Spotlight. It's so good. It's so good. Let's see. Group by normals. Crease by polygroup. Yep, his name's not Ben, it's Simon. Does it work for sculpting and for painting? No. It just works for polypaint, but you can then do a mask by intensity, and then you can extrude or inflate or whatever on that. But no, Spotlight out of the can, it does not work with sculpting. Just images. How you been, Mike? Haven't seen you for a while. It's been a while. Pure Ref. Oh yeah. Use it wherever. I have seen that. Do you use it? Do you like it? Lots of secrets. Oh, Pure Ref. I'll have to check it out. Sounds cool. You just kind of float it around. Oh, you're using it right now to storyboard. Huh. Well, I'll have to check it out. Okay, I need to crease. I need to throw a crease around this edge. Crease edge loop complete. There we go. Maybe around this one too. Maybe I'll keep the theme going and do it around this one too. And then straighten it out. So can you do multiple images with it, or just one at a time? Oh, NDA madness. Oh man. Yay. Big time multiple. All of the images. Yep, and he streams too. He streams. Okay. For this insert, you can set up many ways. You can rotate. Oh, nice. So can you do alpha and all that stuff? A local Pinterest board. Dang, that's awesome. Okay. You've convinced me. I will look into it. Yes. So good. Did you, hey Mike, did you see, what's his name? Mark Beam? Is that his name? Beam. Anyway, he one of his pieces of art lately reminded me a lot of your style. Mark Bem? Oh, nice. Yeah, Bem. B-E-H-M, yeah. Doesn't he work with you? I thought he worked with you. He used to be at, I think he used to be at Volition. Yeah, his latest piece was very. I thought it was yours, honestly. When I looked at it, and I'm like, man, that's super Mike May. You must have influenced him, man. He got the bug. So Mike does these really cool, like pencil. They're pencil sketches, but they're not really sketches. They're just like crazy intricate, sometimes dark, sometimes funny. Always entertaining. Like they're hard to describe. And typically on kind of like a parchment paper. And he uses the graphite just as filler, and it's super cool. Yeah, he's super good. Super good. I'm a huge fan of his stuff. Yeah, I met Phoebe at my first job. My first game job in the industry. Do you remember that, Mike? Good old Sapphire. How can you forget? Just deleting these guys. So I guess we've known each other since 1998, 99, was it? Something like that? Decades. Yep. Dude, decades. Can you believe it? Our kids are having kids. What's going on? I don't know if Gabe was at Sapphire. I met Gabe at Avalanche. He could have been. Okay. So let's get the code on him. Hey, code. Then we'll start to get some of these wrinkles and stuff out here, overlapping this bracer. Let's push this in there. Yeah, there were actually two Gabes at Avalanche. Like one, Gabe Olson, no relation. Gabe Avila, I think his last name is. Okay. I think we're going to wrap it up for tonight, ladies and gents. Oh, Kieran Gavin, yeah. I still talk to Gav every once in a while, but I haven't seen Kier for years. I think the last time I ran into him was what was it, like a Panda Express or something? Oh, thanks, man. It's coming along. It's getting there. It's getting there. It'll be, yeah. I think it'll work out pretty good. Gabe was at Leica. Gabe Olson was at Leica? Really? Was he like intern there, or did he actually full time there? I didn't know that. I did not know this. All right. Yeah, I think we made pretty good progress tonight. Just kind of checking it out, doing let's see, knee pads and fingerless gloves. Oh, when they made commercials. Oh, really? Yeah, a lot of, you know, there's a lot of people that work that way. You know, like, you know, they were taught with the high resolution Dynamesh and the clay tubes brush, because it's really fun. You know, it's just super fun to get in there, experiment, and I'm sure your style, you know, fits it really well. Getting in there and just kind of just going for it. But yeah, this is, I just like to keep things super duper clean and just build up slow and just build up in layers on top of each other, things like that, and eventually it becomes a complete character, and then I can pose it and print it out. Yeah, this is. Sorry, I stepped on my mic stand and made it thump. But here, I'll show you if you can see this. This is a character that Formlabs printed for me. This is the one I streamed a while back. That was this pirate girl here. I don't know how good you can see. I would get it in the camera, but it would be out of focus. See, it goes out of focus. But yeah, she's huge. Super tall. Anyway, I'm hoping to print him out the same. Super fun. All right. Oh, you like it? Yeah, I just got that a couple weeks ago. It's fun. It's like a Lumix 60D or something like that. I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, thank you everybody for dropping by the stream tonight. And I'm actually glad I did a 3-hour stream instead of a 2-hour. I might do it again next week. We'll see. Anyway, yeah, thank you very much, Pixelogic, for letting me stream tonight. And if you are interested in my user interface, my brushes, my ruler file, and also I have an online course. And if you're interested in any of those things, go check out this logo right here, 3dcharacterworkshop.com. I give away my user interface, my free brushes, and my ruler. You can, and then that will sign you up for my newsletter. Enrollment for my course is currently closed, but I'm going to try and open it one more time before the end of the year so you can get your Christmas course if you want to gift it or if you want it for yourself. I will open for enrollment one more time before the end of the year. And if you get on my newsletter, you'll be notified. So thank you, everyone, and I hope you enjoyed tonight's stream. Thank you very much for hanging out with me and spending your time on this Tuesday night. I will be back same time next week. So I think the only time I'm not streaming next month is the day after Christmas, but all the rest of the time I'll be streaming. So the contest, I do I guess semi-monthly contests inside my course, and I will be announcing the contest on the 1st of December. Cool your jets, Cody. Anyway, yep, thanks for dropping by, Mike. It's awesome to see you, as always. Thank you, everybody, and I think, yeah, check out all the other streamers on pixelogic.com, and if you want to try out ZBrush, there's a free trial down below. And happy ZBrushing. So take care and have a great night, everybody. I gotta find the button to stop the streaming. Okay, take care, guys. Bye.